Dharma Bites is brought to you by Free Buddhist Audio, the Dharma for your life. Our work is funded entirely by donations from our generous listeners. If you would like to help us keep this free, make a contribution at freebuddhistaudio.com/donate. Thank you, and happy listening.
So this issue of transformation is quite central, isn't it, to being human? No doubt we go through our lives, there's a lot we want to transform. Padmasambhava is sometimes called the master of transformation. So transformation is particularly associated with Padmasambhava. And it's very human, isn't it, to want to avoid suffering. You know, we all want to avoid suffering and generally want to experience more ease, more creativity, more connection, more aliveness. You know, these urges that we kind of have within us. But where do we direct our energy? You know, where do we direct our effort to try and bring the desires of our heart about? What do we believe in that will take us in that direction? So in Buddhism, the traditional term for this is going for refuge. You know, what do we go for refuge to? And I think it can be an interesting area to reflect on that in your lives. You know, where do you feel fulfillment lies, really? Or contentment, or ease, creativity, and so on. And unavoidably, before we have any kind of self-consciousness, we are born into particular paradigms, aren't we, or systems of thought and belief around what is a good life, you know, what is a successful life. I mean, from a Buddhist point of view, we come with the momentum from our previous life of what we prioritised or privileged. And then we have school and parents, and we come into a cocktail of programming about how to get the best out of your life and things. We do live in quite individualistic, materialistic times. I was thinking of this as we're in a culture which holds a lot of promise for acquisitions. If I have that partner, that job, that place, that income, that experience, then, you know, there's a lot of that, isn't there? Trying to engineer our lives to avoid certain people and places and jobs and experiences and so on. So there is an emphasis on kind of curating our lives on the basis of likes and dislikes. I remember I was in Manchester and I was walking down this road and I saw this big billboard advert and it said, happiness is a regularly serviced boiler. And I was just kind of thinking, are they really thinking that we might feel that and then buy it for happiness? You know? Or is it a joke? You know, I wasn't kind of sure. Happiness is a regularly serviced boiler. Obviously, it's good to put effort into finding work that feels fulfilling, having loving connections, living in a nice house. That, you know, they're all very important things. But if our perspective is just at that level, in terms of putting together certain conditions and putting your energy into that, from a Buddhist point of view, that's going to make you extremely vulnerable to suffering. If there is just that perspective, then it can very easily pit us against each other, you know, because it's a breeding ground for sort of jealousy and rivalry, you know, getting caught up in your self-agenda and not seeing other people and so on. So the Buddha speaks quite eloquently of this in the Atthadanda Sutta. He says, seeing humans flopping around like fish in water too shallow, so hostile to one another, you know. Seeing humans flopping around like fish in water too shallow, so hostile to one another. Quite sad, isn't it, really? You know, it's quite sad, this kind of competitiveness and self-focus, really.
We hope you enjoyed today's Dharma Bite. Please help us keep this free. Make a contribution at freebuddhistaudio.com/donate. And thank you.